A teenager is dead, found shot and killed at a friend's house. What his parents are telling others to do as they mourn their son.
A jury hears new evidence in the trial of a woman accused of leaving her boyfriend to die in a suitcase. What prosecutors argued today as they played new body cam footage.
And a man accused of killing his wife outside of a strip mall appears in court. What new court documents accuse him of doing before pulling the trigger.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Tonight, the family of this 14-year-old boy is trying to figure out what led to the teen being shot and killed. This happened Wednesday night in Marion County. And as WESH 2's Tonight Gabriel reports, investigators believe they know who fired the shots. They just want to know how it happened. Marion County Sheriff's Office says if you know anything that can help with this investigation, please give them a call. In Orange County, two 14-year-old boys are recovering after they were shot. This happened around 8:15 last night on Huntington Green Court near Texas and Americana. One teen was found on scene and taken to the hospital. The second 14-year-old showed up later. One has life-threatening injuries. The sheriff's office says this was not a random attack. No word led up to that shooting. They are asking anyone with information to call Crime Line. Did she act in self-defense or was it murder? The Sarah Boone trial continued today with the state's rebuttal to the battered spouse syndrome defense. WESH 2's Justin Schecker listened to today's testimony and shows us new video prosecutors played for the jury. We are learning new details tonight about the moments leading up to a deadly shooting in Orlando. WESH 2's Jesse Pagan is here with what was revealed in newly released court documents.
Summer Stu, 54-year-old Armando Caralero is accused of shooting and killing his wife, 44-year-old Eunice Rodriguez. Police say it happened Monday outside a strip mall along Lake Underhill Road and Cimarron Boulevard. Court documents say Caralero was seen holding his wife by the hair as she was on the ground with a bloody face. Shortly after, a witness told police she heard 3 shots fired and then saw Caralero flee the scene. Police say he actually called 911 and admitted to shooting his wife. He was later arrested in Indian River County. According to documents, while he was there, police interviewed him, and he said while he did not mean to kill his wife, it was not an accident. He was then transferred back to Orange County, where he's being held without bond now. Back to you.
All right, Jesse, thank you. We've learned 2 people are dead after a fire in a double-wide trailer. This all started just before 1 o'clock at a home on Indigo Avenue near East Colonial Drive and Avalon Park Boulevard. At first, Orange County Fire told us 1 person was found dead, but we have just learned they found another person killed. No word just yet on what started the fire. We need to talk now about your weather. The tropics are mostly quiet. Yes, but that could change. Chief Meteorologist Tony Minolfi joins us now. So, Tony, what exactly are you watching now?
So, we've been talking about these long-range ensemble models that have been hinting at late October, first week of November, something may try to bubble on up here into the southern Caribbean. As you guys mentioned, things are nice and quiet right now, so we're going to watch this corridor here as we go through late October and the first week of November. Again, we look at all the ensemble models and some of the deterministic models now. There is a hint, a signal of something potentially developing in this corridor. And if that were indeed to be the case, there is plenty of fuel for something to really feed off of. That is some very warm Caribbean waters that go down to about 300 meters there, so almost 500, 600, 700 feet, I should say. And so that's a lot of fuel for something to potentially develop in the month of November. Now, historically speaking, features here tend to occur more towards the north than the east, but the trend this year has been a little bit slower on those fall fronts. So, if you look at the GFS, there is a window of opportunity for something to potentially come to the north. The European computer model has something. It's far weaker, and it's just a signal that we're watching. Plenty of time to do so. We just want to put this on your radar. Just keep checking back in. That's all I ask of you. We're not going to hype this up, but we are going to show you that potentially down the road in the first week of November, there could be something developing in the Caribbean that we just want you to be aware of. Again, we'll keep you apprised of this day by day. Guys, back to you.
Tony, thank you. It's been a slow recovery for folks in Edgewater after Hurricane Milton, but they are finding solutions to deal with flooding that was already an issue before the storm. A new stormwater mitigation initiative launched this week, promising results. Mayor Diesel Depew says they have secured funding and have several drainage projects they have not made any progress on in over a year. Through this initiative, they will help speed things up. The city also has a new aquatic weed control program.
Spray vegetation in the canals, be safe for the lagoon, and we'll get down that vegetation in our canals that our residents complain about to no end.
Mayor tells WESH 2 they have also put a bid out there to hire a third-party engineer that can help them figure out the best ways to move forward.
The Volusia County School District is updating its schedule to make up for lost time in the classroom from Hurricane Milton. Now, the district says early release days that were scheduled for December 20th, February 19th, March 12th, and May 21st will now be full days. Students will not need to come in for an extra day. Meanwhile, Osceola County has announced they will not have any required makeup days because of hurricanes Helene or Milton. They said in a statement a very small number of schools will need to make minor adjustments to their school days to comply with state rules, but students will not have to attend extra days.
Right now, Florida is trying to protect Floridians from scams after Hurricane Milton. Florida CFO Jimmy Petronis announced a new service to help people make sure the contractor fixing up their hurricane damage is legit. It's called Check My Contract. When you go to preparefl.com, you can take a picture of a contract with the contractor and upload it. The state will look over it and make sure it's not a bad actor. A big reminder, if you realize you have signed a bad contract, Floridians have 30 days from the day the storm made landfall to get out of it.
3 local hospitals are now part of the Orlando Health System. This is Orlando Health Rockledge. You can see the signage has already changed over. The other hospitals include Orlando Health Melbourne and Orlando Health Sebastian River Hospital. Patients will see new branding and a larger network of options. Orlando Health says they will focus on learning how to better serve their communities.
So we're going to take the time to listen to our patients, listen to our team members, our physicians, our community leaders, and figure out from them what's working well, where are their gaps, where are their opportunities.
Patients will not have to worry about their care plans. The hospital says the transition will have minimal impact on treatments.
Floridians will have to decide on big changes to our state's constitution when they walk into the polls.
Yeah, ones getting a lot of attention include abortion and marijuana. But coming up at 6, we take a look at 2 amendments that focus on local school boards and the right to fish.
Tonight we hear from a person hospitalized after contracting E. coli as a supplier to McDonald's recalls certain onion products over concerns of possible contamination. Plus, our new polling of Gen Z voters revealing just how deep the gender gap goes.
In Commitment 2024, we are zeroing in on one of the amendments on your ballot. Amendment 2 is one that seems like a no-brainer.
But WESH News political reporter Greg Fox has some important things for you to weigh before you cast your vote. Let's talk now about your weather, because I don't think you got many complaints today, did you, Tom?
This has been a good week for the weather folks. Unlike the last couple of months. Yeah, it's fantastic, guys. It really is. Let me take you back outside right now. Low humidity, drier air. Yeah, it was warm. We were in the 80s, but it didn't feel like it. You know, with a little breeze out there as well. The attractions are certainly going to be a little crowded here, I think, the next couple days with some fantastic weekend weather on the way. Notice the temperatures now behind the East Coast sea breeze falling back into the middle 70s. Out ahead of it, we're running in the upper 70s and the lower 80s. Any rain today is down across South Florida. Here in Central Florida, we're in good shape, and this is good because it helps to get these rivers to slowly come down, and that's been the trend here. In fact, Ashland and DeLand coming down, but still a major flood stage. Good news up there in Sanford. Along the river at that point. We're now down to minor flood stage, and Lake Harney in moderate flood stage and likely to stay there for the next couple of days. All right, winds light to calm. Fog will be an issue here north and west of I-4 overnight tonight. Along the coast, rip currents remain a concern through very early tomorrow morning. We'll have to wait and see what the winds do tomorrow if we need to extend that throughout Friday afternoon. 7, 9, 11, 78, 73, and 70. Looking good and cooling nicely. In fact, check this out. By daybreak tomorrow morning, Bithlo, you're at 64. Apopka, you're at 63. Winter Garden over towards Oakland. Ocoee, right around 64 degrees. Down towards Conway, over towards Azalea Park, Union Park, Waterford Lakes, about 64 degrees. A beautiful, comfortable fall morning. 63 Sanford, Altamont Springs 64. Oviedo, right around 65. A little farther north to Land Deltona, right around 62, 63. Then back towards the coast. Just inland, about 64 Port Orange and Daytona, but closer to the water there, as you can see, in the upper 60s. Now, heading into Marion County, there you go. There's your fall. Readings in the upper 50s to the low 60s from Reddick all the way down towards Mount Dore, back over towards the Wildwood area. Kissimmee 65, Keynasville 64, and Melbourne and Palm Bay 68, 67 respectively. Comfortably cool tonight, a little bit of patchy fog. Gorgeous afternoon tomorrow, staying dry and warm. Readings will be in the mid-80s. In fact, when we take a look now at Futurecast here, you can see just a few clouds. No mention of any rain, although there's going to be some onshore flow and a few clouds. But other than that, we should be in good shape. Temperatures tomorrow along the coast, 82 to 84. Inland, 83 to about 87. A little bit above the norm for this time of the year. Over towards the land, coming in at about 83 degrees. All right, on into Friday Night Football here. Titans and Bulldogs. Big matchup. Great game and a beautiful forecast. 74, 71 first half on into the second half. For the weekend, there's that big dome of high pressure slides across. Great weekend. Get out there and enjoy it. We take a look at some events ongoing this weekend. It's the big golf weekend benefiting breast cancer awareness down at Rosal Shingle Creek. They still have a few openings available if you want to get in and play. Look at those afternoon highs right around 80. And then UCF homecoming looking great here. 80, 83 for the tailgating on into the game. And then as we track the tropics, the Caribbean is quiet now. But as we look ahead towards late October and early November, models are heading at some disturbed weather over towards Jamaica. Kingston with low pressure trying to build off towards either the northeast and or the north. Just keep checking back in. We've got a nice slide of 7 days where we don't have to worry about the tropics, but we'll keep eyes down to the south. Good looking weekend weather. A few showers though arriving early next week. Zach.
All right, thank you, Tony. The Magic are 1-0 to start the season with a convincing win over the Heat. After the break, we'll hear from Jamal Mosley about how the Magic are now expecting to be winners. Plus, things are not going well for UCF. Saturday doesn't make it any easier. Coming up next, we'll hear from Gus Malzahn as he has a new starting quarterback for the foreseeable future. Sports is next.
Central Florida traffic can be brutal, but Megan Mackey is here to help you navigate it all. From mapping out your commute to monitoring changes on our roads.
Consider me your local transportation expert.
Real-time updates every morning and in-depth reporting on the transportation issues that impact our community. This is what First Warning traffic looks like with Megan Mackey. And it's here on WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 Sports is sponsored by Mullinax Ford, Florida's largest Ford retailer. For upfront pricing and no dealer fees, shop Mullinax where car buying is simple, easy, fun. Now, WESH 2 Sports, sponsored by Mullinax Ford.
A good start to the season. Hello, everyone. I'm Zach Maskovich. The Magic started the season just the way they wanted to, with a win over in-state rival in the Miami Heat. The playoff picture in high school football is starting to become more clear. Our Friday Night Hits game of the week will be University of Orange City paying a visit to DeLand. That will lead off the show. Our fan pick poll will go second, and it was a narrow margin, but the fan pick game will be Ocoee visiting West Orange. That game is actually happening tonight. I'll be heading there after the newscast ends, so be sure to check out the highlights at 10 and 11, and then again on Friday Night Hits tomorrow at 11:15. Now in terrible news, USF men's basketball coach Amir Abdur-Rahim passed away today after a battle with an illness. He was just 43 years old. News at 6 continues after this.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Advent Health.
We have several stories we're following for you tonight at 7.
Yeah, today's developments in the suitcase murder trial. Plus,
this is a worse feeling to be able to be a parent and having to bury your child.
Parents grieving the loss of their son. We talked to his parents and Marion County investigators about what happened. And
right now, people are lining up in early voting to cast their ballots in this election, and not just on races, but also on all those amendments on the ballot. I'm WESH 2 News political reporter Greg Fox. I'll take a closer look at the one proposed amendment that would make school board races partisan.
That's our report for tonight. ABC Nightly News' Lester Holt is next.
We'll see you again at 7 and then at 10 and 11. Have a great night.